Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Garnet Old Watchalong stream with your boy, Big Papa East. We're either going to have fun tonight or, I guess, stew in the muck together. One of the two is going to happen. Listen, I'm never, ever going to root for Florida State to do poorly, so that's not going to happen. But, man, you just feel like you don't know what's better. Obviously, you always want Florida State to win. But there's recent news stories that we're going to talk about here in a second that you're like, is that really the best thing? I don't know the answer to that, everyone. I just don't. But how's everyone doing tonight? Hop in the live comments and talk to me, because we're just going to be live streaming throughout the entirety of the game. Vince is at the game in Tallahassee. He may pop in for a hot minute here shortly. I'm not sure of the connection in Tallahassee. Obviously, he's at the game, so we'll see how that goes. But no matter how it goes, I do want to thank our sponsors, Captain Black Fishing in Panama City Beach. He sponsors our studios. So this is the home studios of myself here in Vidalia, Georgia. And Vince in Doe Campbell is being sponsored by our other really, really great sponsor, and that's the Palace Saloon, our game day sponsor. They gave a ton of drinks today at the tailgate. So thank you to the Palace Saloon, locally owned and operated for many, many years, and a pleasure to be doing business with them. All right, let's get into it. Elusive, watching up in the chat. You know what? I don't know how I'm doing. Personally, I'm doing great. I think it's going really well. But I don't know how I feel about tonight going into the live stream. I do want to bring Vince up in the game here, live streaming from Doe Campbell. So we'll see how this goes. Vince, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Ryan. The weather, Ryan, I know I talk about the weather's great tonight. The tailgate was awesome. How's the feed so far?
The feed is good, Vince. The feed is really good. So can't complain at all. We just did the sponsor messages, all our the Palace Saloon. Thanks for supplying the drinks, which I'm sure Vince partook in.
I had quite a few, Ryan. We had it was flowing. There were a lot of people there. A lot of people, they already knew about the Palace, but now they have a higher appreciation for the Palace after what occurred at the tailgate.
Vince, show us the field right now. What does it look like? What does the stadium look like?
All right, give me a moment here. I gotta figure out what I'm doing.
Old man Rivers here trying his best to get it going. Oh, we're about to get the Chiefs here. Look at that. Beautiful night.
Chiefs are about to come on.
Beautiful night in Doe Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.
Color captains Chase Carlton and Caitlin Cook.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear them. I don't know if it matters.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear it. It's like I'm there with you, Vince.
What's really bad is, well, not bad, but, with the SEC, a lot of times they'll start showing the halftime now for the bands, but they're not doing that yet for this miserable league that we are in.
Well, that league is much deeper. It's just so deep, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
On a subway.
All right, Vince.
Oh, bear.
It's about time for kickoff. Give me your prediction, score prediction. Let's go.
Yeah. I think what's the over under 54, somewhere around there. I think we're going to be over. I think the Noles are going to score quite a few points tonight. I don't know if they're going to cover the spread. I think they'll win by maybe 10 to 12.
So give me the score.
I said that about this thing.
Let's see. let's say 35-21, 35-20, 24, something like that.
I'm going to go 21-17. Virginia Tech wins the game.
All right.
No matter what,
Good for you.
I'm going to have a good night.
Yeah. What do you?
A little maker's mark. It's a solid choice. Well, Vince, enjoy the weather, my friend.
I will. I was going to say, I don't know how long this stream is going to last, so I just wanted to pop in and say hi. Thank you for doing this live watch along, Ryan. Thank you to everybody. If you tuned into the Skull session earlier today, we had quite a few people on. Well, I'm going to enjoy the game here, Ryan, and if you're still going later on, I'll pop in a little later. Go Knowles.
Go Knowles, Vince. We'll see you later, man.
We welcome tonight's visiting team from Blacksburg. Each wins the
All right, that was the one and only Vince Ciccarelli reporting live from Doak Campbell Stadium. So the weather looked beautiful. You could just tell the crisp air was in full effect. How's everyone doing in the chat? Give me your score predictions. I want to know what everyone's where's everyone's mind at today. I want to know. I don't know how I feel about this game. I know I talked about it a little earlier, but the news going around right now is around James Franklin. I think everyone knows that by now. And there's some news from reputable sources that Virginia Tech is basically like, hey, yeah, we want you. Come on down. Like, let's do this thing. And then there's the reports that Franklin is like, well, I'm interested in the Florida State job. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. You like to think that they have some sources for these kind of things, but who knows? That's why I don't know how I feel about this, because there's a thought that if Florida State loses this game, maybe Mike gets fired tomorrow, and then James Franklin is the coach. How do you guys feel about James Franklin potentially being the coach? I'm honestly indifferent to it. I could, if it were to happen, if James Franklin was announced as Florida State's next coach, I could talk myself into liking it. I think we all will. You put on the fan glasses and you start saying, yeah, I mean, they won a lot of games. They're always 10, 11 wins every year. He never won the big one there, but man, would it just be nice to win double-digit games every year. Like, that's Penn State fired James Franklin for two reasons. One, he had been there so long and been winning all the games. Sure, 10, like I said, they win 10 games like clockwork. But after that long period of time of not making it past that, they kind of got frustrated that they felt like that was going to be their cap with him, was just a good season. Meanwhile, you take it from the Florida State perspective, and I mean, what would you guys give right now to have 10 wins? Because 10 wins right now gets you in the playoff, and once you're in the playoff, who knows who could win each and every year? It's a whole different ball game with the 12-team playoff. So, yeah, I could talk myself into liking James Franklin just fine. I wouldn't say he's my ideal choice. You guys, kind of know where I stand on that. I'm on the Jimbo train, although I'm feeling it's less likely. It seems like Florida State has their person in mind, and it could very well be Franklin as an option on their plate right now. Now, it seems from all reports that Virginia Tech really wants Franklin, and Franklin's warm probably on them, but would rather have something else. So very interesting world we got right now, guys, with with all this realignment and NIL money, and coaches do they matter as much as they once did? I don't know. Can you just buy a roster if you have a really good organization who knows how to scout players? Maybe. like there's a lot that goes into it now. That I mean, I've been watching Florida State and college football my whole life, and I don't even know. I have no idea what to make of like what I don't know what would I do. I mean, in the last Garnet Old show, I said maybe with the NIL situation, maybe you go and do an NFL model, and you just hire a general manager, and you know, put all your eggs in scouts and evaluations and transfer portal, and but do it in a more NFL type way where you have since very strict evaluations and procedures in place with scouts and everything. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Um, who knows? It could go either way. But almost time for the game to start. We're coming up here. They're actually on the ACC network right now talking about Virginia Tech and Penn State and what that would look like with Franklin or whatever Vatech. Very interesting reporting coming out of Penn State today. Not Penn State, out of Vatech today. Man, is there anything more boring than the ACC huddle on ACC network before a live kickoff game? It's almost torture. Like it just isn't entertaining at all. But the headline right now on ACC network is Virginia Tech in early talks with James Franklin for a head coaching position. We'll see if that moves the needle for Florida State. Maybe they feel like there's pressure now, so we got to get rid of Mike, so let's bring in Franklin. That's assuming that Florida State's even interested in Franklin. We don't know. So there's a lot up in the air right now. I have no idea what to make of the whole James Franklin situation. 6 minutes till kickoff, guys. Let's hop in the chat, everyone. Who's watching right now? We got a bunch of people live streaming along with us. Who's here? Roll call. Hop in the chat. Let me know where you're watching. Are you watching at home? What are you drinking? Have you prepared yourself for this game? Let's talk a little bit. Mellow Mama Bear writes, Franklin has his upsides. He's a strong recruiter and has had winning season. But if you ask Coach Saban and Pat McAfee, he's best suited for Virginia Tech. Well, sure. With James Franklin, he didn't have amazing recruiting classes. He honestly had Mike Norvell style recruiting classes, like a whole lot of like 10 to 15. Not a lot, no, he's not a top 5 recruiting class kind of guy. I don't know how much that had to do with, the area, but he was an okay recruiter. But he clearly knew how to run a program. He's a good program maintainer and builder. So he knows how to keep the team winning at a good clip, which we could use right now. We could use a stabilizer, man. If you were to take the last 5 years of Penn State results, just wins and losses, and copy and paste it over to Florida State's results, we would take the Penn State results all day, right? Right? So that's all you really need to know but I don't know if that's how Florida State wants to go. Who knows? Elusive writes, watching at home with some Mick Ultras in PCB. So Panama City Beach, been there many times. Mick Ultra is a good call. Not too filling. Won't get you destroyed early. And it's an easy drinker. I'm a big Mick Ultra guy when I just want to have a consistent small buzz throughout a game where I'm just keeping pace, not trying to get hammered. Mellow Mama Bear also writes in the chat, let's see here. For sure, he's an excellent stabilizer. Yeah. If Florida State is looking to right the ship and at least get it back to a standard of winning, James Franklin would accomplish that. I mean, there's no question. But does Florida State see themselves right now as, hey, that is the main goal? Like, just get a stabilizer? Or do they want to go and, get a brand new face that maybe isn't well known, but maybe has a ton of upside that can do more than stabilize a program. So I don't know. I have no idea what their mindset is and the coaching staff. I see we have the crack staff of play calling, play-by-play analysts here for the ACC Network game, Virginia Tech, Florida State. I'm going to pop my first sip. Let me get this open. Maker's Mark is my go-to easy drinking bourbon. I love the caramel tones of Maker's Mark. It smells amazing. Some bourbon, I know people who drink bourbon whiskeys, you smell it, you sniff it. Some you just get straight burn. When you sniff, you smell a Maker's Mark. You get nice and smooth, a nice little caramel. I love the smell of Maker's Mark. And I do it neat, guys. No ice. No sweeteners, no ice. Like all my bourbons and whiskeys, I don't do ice and I don't do sweeteners. Delicious. Mellow Mama Bear. Watching at home with vitamin water. That's probably a better idea than what I'm doing. I don't plan on getting toasty on the stream today at all, but hydrating is always probably the better thing for your body, of course, than drinking bourbon. But hey, it's a Saturday night, and it's been a long season, so we got to do something, right? Almost game time, guys. Throw those scores predictions in the chat. I want to know what you guys think this is going to be like. Is it going to be an ass kicking Florida State like last week, or is this going to be a little bit more of a slower paced game that we're worried in the fourth quarter if we're going to pull this one out? Oh, let's see. Lacey writes, watching at home in Pace Mill. Yep, I know that area. Yep. Drinking an iced tea. Again, wiser choice than bourbon, probably. I'm up here in the middle of nowhere, Cobbtown, Georgia, which is about 30 minutes away from Statesboro, Vidalia. There's, it's a very, very country bumpkin town in Georgia where I've relocated to in my brand new studio environment. You could see, though, my wife's doodads have already made their way into the shot. It didn't take long for her makeup mirror to make it into the cave here. So I'm sure all our married friends are enjoying that. I kind of want to lower my lights a little bit because it's kind of blown out in the background a little bit. Let's lower this thing down to there we go. I just want to lower these a little bit. Bear with me. All right. Seminoles won the toss and have deferred. Good. Let's see how we do, guys. I'm sure the weather is beautiful there because it's beautiful here in southern Georgia. Mellow Mama Bear writes, Lee and I did a bourbon tasting. It was a lot of fun and educational. Had no idea how you could pair with bourbon, bring out the different notes. Yes. I've been a bourbon drinker since my early 20s. And yes, anyone who's like, when I'm sitting at a bar and they're like, I'll just have whatever the well is, right? I understand that they're not a bourbon drinker because there really is a lot of complexity in flavors when it comes to drinking bourbon. All right, guys, we're on defense first. Time for the game to get started here. Just for you guys who haven't scouted or watched any Virginia Tech games this year, I've watched a few. It's going to be a probably 80% run offense. So Virginia Tech's going to run the ball all night. Generally, their quarterback, Drones, will like throw like 80 to 100 yards passing a game, like a game. So a lot of RPO plays, very similar to Mike Norvell, 2 years ago type offense. So false start, first play of the game, perfect. That's what I like to see. Good old false start to start the game. Virginia Tech's one of those programs I've never had disdain for. Like, I've always quite liked their fans that I've met. I like how I said that they're going to run the ball a lot, and they come out throwing immediately. Good pass defense there. Good breakup. Very first play, passing the ball, probably because they were behind the chains. Throughout the night, guys, here, if I want to refill, get some water, or use the restroom, if you see me disappear from the camera and see an empty room, I will be back. I'm just, got to take care of business as we're watching the game here. All right. And no, he's gone? No, okay. Only a 40-yard run. Not embarrassing at all. I counted 3 missed tackles from Florida State's defense on that play. So, good times. Good times, though. Way to go. There's a lot of missed tackles on that play. God. Come on, guys. Wrap up. Let's see who wants this game more tonight. I couldn't believe the spread when I saw it. How they think we're favored by that much. Oh, that's a balloon pass. Picked off. Terrible throw. That was would you guys say that's one of the worst throws you've ever seen? I think he just threw it as high up in the air as possible. And then the wide receiver fell down. It was a terrible throw. Looked like Alex Hornibrook throwing up there. CJ, all you have missed is we just picked the ball off, but not from a impressive, like, we made a play on the ball. It was one of the worst throwing motions you'll ever see from a quarterback, and then their wide receiver fell down. So it kind of like the only person in the area to catch the ball was our defense. So, but hey, we'll take it. Let's see what we got on offense tonight. Let's see if we're going to actually run the quarterback tonight. We haven't been doing a whole lot of that. Interesting that Sawchuk is in the game first. Everyone is going to be wondering, guys. Keep an eye out with how many touches Cromon gets tonight, if any. Players in this game, if you see that should be playing or normally would play and they're not playing, that could be an indication that they plan on transferring at the end of the year, this late in the season. So just keep an eye on that as we go through the night. You want to see Chroma in the game if he's likely to be staying a Florida State Seminole through the next year. I've always enjoyed the Garnet on Garnet with gold helmets. It's one of my favorite combinations. All right, here comes Chroma. See, just proven right out the gate. So he's in. That's a good sign for his long-term tenure here at Florida State. Castellanos, first down. First down. So CJ writes, I hate to say it, but we need to go on the last 3 games. Hey, listen, I'm never, ever, ever going to root for a Florida State loss. I understand why you're saying that. So don't mistake me. I understand the mythology of how you get there. Hey, we want to lose all these games to ensure Mike Norvell's gone, right? I understand what you're coming from, but it goes against the core of my very being to root against Florida State actively. It's more like, man, I would like to see them win, but if they lost, it wouldn't be the worst thing. That's kind of how I justify it in my mind. Is I don't root for the loss, but if it happens, I'm not mad anymore. Castellanos going deep, no one open, terrible throw. One thing I'm surprised about, guys, is like Castellanos. I know he's been hurt from a run perspective, but I feel like he's regressed throwing the ball all year. Like every week is sidearm central, and it's kind of getting old. He doesn't step into any of his throws. All of his throws are I'm throwing as I'm leaning back and I'm sidearming it when no one is around him. So that's kind of Castellanos' game in a nutshell. Terrible throw. Oh my god. They roll him out, which is a good move. You want to get is it gonna be roughing the passer? Or a hold? Yep, roughing the passer. Stupid move by Vatek because that was a terrible throw by Castellanos being rolled out of the pocket. Bailed out there. We were about to have to punt from the 15-yard line. Terrible throw. Let's see what we got here. First down. Changing the play at the line. Looks like a run for one. Oh, man. I can tell you one thing. Both of these teams are going to, obviously we run the ball a lot. Virginia Tech wants to most of the time run the ball. So it should be a short game. Whatever the result ends up being, it should be a very short game. I have a feeling this is going to be a low scoring game. So I saw a lot of sites predicting like pretty lopsided victory. A lot of points. I think the total was like 50 something points. I just don't see it in this game. This game like screams to me in the 20s. So I just don't see this being a high scoring affair. I think both teams will struggle to move the ball consistently, and I think it's whoever makes the more egregious mistakes, which so far has been Virginia Tech. I mean, they start the game with a pick, and then the roughing the passer call. So so far, Virginia Tech is the one making the mistakes, which we'll see how long before Florida State does the same here. Wide open pass. Deuce Robinson wide open. Oh, I love Deuce Robinson. What a wasted year to have a Deuce Robinson on your roster. It really is. Oh, so many years where Deuce Robinson could have been a playmaker and an offense that mattered throughout the whole season. Reverse. Good play. Good time for a reverse. Man, is there anyone who loves doing a reverse or end around than Gus with Dancy? Oh, man. Guys, I'm telling you, watch every single throwing motion that Castellanos does when he wants to go deep. Terrible fundamentals on his throws. Like, terrible. Always leaning back. Always a little sidearmish in there. It's... especially with him not running the ball a lot lately, which is, what we hope his secret weapon would be all year. He's just not a good thrower of the football, guys. He's just not. And everyone who's asking and hoping that maybe he finds a way to come back next year and get another year of eligibility, I don't want that at all. I hope the next couple games is the last time we see Castellanos in a Florida State uniform. He's a fun player, can be an electric player. Um, could be a problem for teams in certain games when healthy. But for Florida State, who has aspirations of playing in the biggest of big games, got to be able to throw the ball. 3rd and 8. Let's see what we got. Terrible ass throw. Guys, he just threw the ball when he was leaping in the air. He had time to throw it without leaping in the air. This is what I'm talking about. His fundamentals are terrible. Field goal, Central. Let's go. What a terrible off-balance throw. All right, Weinberg. No good. No good. No good, guys. I'm telling you, this game reeks scores in the 20. I predicted, by the way, for those of you just joining, I predicted 21-17 Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech wins this game. I think it's going to be a sloppy game, low scoring. A lot of drives that, we get both teams kind of get a few first downs, but then stall out and punt. So far, we're halfway through the first quarter and it's 0-0. So I think I'm tracking. CJ writes, if you had said before the season that FSU coming in this game would have an offense ranked in the top 10 and defense ranked in the top 30, somehow we were one of the worst teams in the ACC. I would say you always have to take those rankings with with context. A lot of those numbers are from those game 2 and game 3 where we put up 80 points and we're playing terrible, like really bad teams. So now I know a lot of teams play like bad teams throughout the year, but most of them, score 40, 50 points, call it a day, slow roll it the rest of the game, and that's how it ends. We were setting records in scoring for those games, and so it does tend to skew the numbers a little bit on total offense. Anyone with a set of eyes the last couple weeks watching the offense will tell you that that's not a top 10 offense. Now, I think the defense has been like that's the defense. On the other hand, if you say it's top 30 defense, I would say yeah, that's what my eyes tell me. Yeah, they're right around there. I would say 30 to 40 ranked defense, a fine defense, not amazing, not bad, fine. This defensive unit deserves to be a lot better than dead last in the ACC, right? It sucks, man. It just sucks. What do you guys think about Franklin while we're at commercial? Do you think Florida State has interest in him, or is it just Franklin wanting to kind of see if there's an option out there other than Vatek? Because if Florida State loses tonight and fires Mark Norvell, does the news start shifting where James Franklin is headed here, which is a possibility? I mean, multiple people have reported that. So, what do you guys think? CJ writes higher ASAP. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it earlier, CJ. Franklin would be a stabilizing force. He might not get you, pounding your chest and thinking we're going to win title after title, but he would definitely be a stabilizing force here, no doubt. No doubt about it. Mike Norvell reviewing that iPad extra close there. He's just double tapping, zooming in on the same image. I'm telling you guys, this game is going to be one of those games you blink and it's halftime because both teams are going to run the ball. Chris writes, he would be a great coach. I don't think we get him. Based on reports today, Chris, from the Franklin camp, he is literally stalling Virginia Tech, who desperately wants him, to see if Florida State's job comes open. Now, the question is, does Florida State reciprocate? Does Florida State want him? Is he their primary target? If he is, then you would assume then tomorrow Florida State fires Mike Norvell because Vatech is not going to just willy-nilly hold that job open for Franklin to just to hopefully he gets another place and then he settles for Vatech. Like they're not going to want to do that. No one wants to be the fallback school. So very interesting times. This game has a surprising amount of intrigue based on the coaching rumors we've been hearing. First down, Virginia Tech. Appreciate you all joining me. How about that South Carolina game today? So for those that you don't know, at halftime, South Carolina was beating Texas A&M 31-3, and on the way to the locker room, Shane Beamer was pounding his chest and pumping up the crowd on the way out. Clearly, false bravado. And then they come out and they lose in the most Shane Beamer way possible. Oh, man. College football is weird, guys. It's weird and interesting and ironic. Oh, fumble. Again, so tonight, so far, guys, Vatech is the one making all the mistakes. They've thrown in pick. They've committed a roughing the passer. And then that was almost a turnover right there with the fumble. So, CJ, I'm with you, man. I'm in the Jimbo camp too. But my problem with holding on hope for that is if it was going to be Jimbo, they could have done it already, right? Jimbo would have been I really believe more and more as weeks go by, if it was going to be Jimbo, who's available clearly, right? They would have fired Mark Norvell in a hurry. Right after the meltdown against Stanford, because Jimbo's available, and we wouldn't have to wait for him to finish coaching games or anything like that. So the longer the time has gone by, the more games that have passed, I think the less likely the Jimbo Fisher option becomes. Although I still want it, I think it would be good, but I've got a soft spot for nostalgia. I think I'm a little bit more on the side of I'll give you guys an example. I've had jobs before where I worked there a long time and I left for, whatever reasons, whether it be a promotion somewhere else, more money, the normal things you leave a job for. And then a year later, you're kind of like, man, I really liked working at the other job better, company wise. I should have never left. And then you may send a warm LinkedIn message or two to some of the owners or something, the other company, to see if when you message them, how's it going? They might be like, oh, hey, long time no see. We should talk. And then maybe they want you to come back and there's a position there. Normally doesn't work out. And that's kind of how I feel about the Jimbo thing. It's Jimbo, I'm sure, wants to go back to Florida State. All but said it in interviews. But I feel like it's like me reaching out casually to an old buddy or something at an old company. And then they're just like, oh yeah, I hope you're doing well. And you're like, okay. So the hope you're doing well means that, we're good, but no thanks. So I think that's what you're getting with the Jimbo. The longer this goes, I think the likelihood is less and less. Andy, thanks for joining the show. Andy Wilson writes, I was at the FSU Georgia Tech game in Dublin last year. I'm Irish. I've kept an eye on FSU since Seems like I started watching. It all went downhill. That's awesome. So, Andy, do you live in Ireland? In Ireland, like where do you live? Are you from Europe, or did you just travel there for the game? I'm very interested. So, reading that comment, it sounds like you weren't like a lifelong FSU fan until they came to Ireland. Then you started, paying attention to them, and they've just sucked ever since. So let me know. Jerry Wilson's playing well tonight. A pick, and that was a nice trigger downhill. They read screen all day on that one. And guys, whoever number 11 is on Virginia Tech, the wide receiver, completely did not even try to block. Look, yeah, he's just like, nah, I'm not gonna. He wanted no. Number 11 wanted no piece of Jerry. All right, Virginia Tech. Looks like it's gonna be good. No good. Short. Okay, so 0-0. Guys, we are in a field goal missing fest. Good times. So, Andy, I want to drive in on this a little bit more. I love this. So, you live in Ireland and born there. That's awesome. Vince was there, my cohort. I don't know how long. Let me know how long you've been watching Garnet Old for. But just to confirm, so like you live in Ireland. Florida State came to play there, and were you not a Florida State fan before that? And you were just like, "Oh, this is cool, Florida State coming to Ireland," and now you've been following them. If so, I'm very sorry because if you were following them for years and years and years, you would have so many positive memories. If you started following as of that game, that's a toughie. That's a real son of a. That's a kick in the boys right there. If you just started becoming a Florida State fan there, but no matter what, welcome to the fandom. Happy to have you. And it's cool that you're in Ireland. What time? Wait, what time is it in Ireland right now? Just so you guys know, so Vince is at Doak, and he just texted me full house tonight, which means pretty close to a sellout. So apparently the attendance is very good tonight, which is good. I'm happy that they at least there's people watching the game. That's important. CJ's like, why does everyone keep talking about the standard? This team sucks. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking with Andy. Like, if he just started watching, he's like, if this is the standard, then good lord. Oh man, yeah, the Ireland trip, man, where it all started, just crashing and burning. After because even when we got snubbed, everyone who was a Florida State fan, although crushed by getting snubbed the year before, it's not like we thought we were gonna fall off a cliff. I mean, we got snubbed and we were pissed, but I remember going into that DJ year, before the Ireland game, the mood around the team was, well, we'll see how the team is, but let's go show them that hey, we're going to be right back in the playoff hunt. We're not backing down just because we got snubbed. That was the mentality of like everyone headed into that game. Was like, let's go show the country like we're still here, and we weren't, and it's gone. That's what happened. Guys, how many quarters go by till a touchdown happens? I'm going to say we don't get our first touchdown in this game. Oh, hold on. Distractions everywhere. Sorry. God bless Tallahassee. Uh, I think we get to the third quarter before we see a touchdown. I think we're going to see a whole lot of field goal attempts. Like I said, this screams a whole lot of low scoring tonight. That saying, watch the next play, we score a touchdown. That'd be ironic. Sam Singleton, my man. Yeah, CJ, I don't know what. You're never going to get a real answer out of Mike these days of what he's actually feeling and thinking. It's not going to happen. You're going to get a lot of, what he wants everyone to think that he's thinking. And what the hell was that? I think CJ was just tackled by air. Singleton was just tackled by the turf. The turf got him. and didn't let go. Andy Wilson. I watched the NFL for 13 years. I wanted to go to a game and saw they had a college game in Dublin once a year. So I went. I looked FSU up before the game, and they saw they had a good history. That's awesome. That's a good story. Um, Welcome to the college football fandom. It's a weird sport. If you're an NFL fan, you're used to the. I wonder who your team is. Are you a Jaguars fan? Are you a fan of one of the teams that goes to the across the pond, as it will, many times a year? Or are you who's your team in the NFL? But if you're an NFL fan and you've watched the NFL for a long time, you're kind of used to a whole lot of close to 500 teams, maybe 3 to 4 really good teams, and a whole lot of and then a whole lot of suck on the bottom, right? So that's been pro football forever, but in college, it's always been very few elite teams, like very few, but then a whole lot of good teams. Like before the whole NIL and redistribution of money, and you know, I would say pre like 2019, 2020, there was every year there was the same teams at the top of the heap every single year. And now money in the college football game has I'm not going to say ruin it, because I actually quite like parity. I like the NFL because every game is so close, and every year your team could go from literally like the depths of despair to maybe making a playoff game. So I quite like that. But some people miss the good old days of blue blood programs running the sport. Never been one of those guys. Obviously, I would like Florida State to have a say in things every year, but the reality is, I think um, more and more, you're going to have a whole lot of teams that are uh, 7 to 9 wins and a lot less 10-win plus seasons. Andy, I figure Jaguars. Yeah, so I'm a Jaguars fan too. Terrible loss last weekend. I was watching that game at a sports bar up until the third quarter, and I left the sports bar, and the Jags were up like 3 touchdowns. And it's about a 35-40 minute drive for me to get home, and I'm like, well, this game's probably over. Jaguars an easy win. And I drove home, and I put the TV on, and I'm like, what happened? And Jaguars lost the game, as the Jaguars tend to do week in and week out. Yep, that's the life of a Jaguars fan, I'm sorry to say. But who got injured there? Richie Leonard. Oh, that's not a good injury. We don't have a ton of people behind him. So first down. For Florida State, first down. We're approaching the end of the quarter, 0-0, guys. I'm telling you that the game totals on this game, Vegas wise, I was like, who have they been watching? Like either team, like are they just looking on paper like Florida State top 10 offense? Because use your eyes, it's not. And Vatek literally passes for like 10 yards a game. So I had a feeling this game was going to be low scoring. Whole lot of end arounds tonight and quick snaps, and probably a good thing. Jet sweep on that one. The DN completely collapsed. He didn't even try to maintain his gap integrity. he was all in. He was going after the quarterback, and he knew it from the second he snapped the ball, and he was wrong. Whoopsie. Oh, man. False start. That should have been a false start in Florida State. Yeah, I'm going to say, Chroma, you can't fall forward. Oh, man. Now he's coming out of the game. Roydell Williams in the game because that's going to be awesome, I'm sure. This is going to be a pass, FYI, guys. Terrible throw. Terrible, terrible throw, guys. On those types of throws, you don't have to throw it so hard. I mean, guys, an embarrassing throw there. On those throws, you put a little air under it. Let the guy go get it in front of him. He's already beat the the defender. You put a little air under it. Roydell cut short. Looks like 3rd and 6. Oh, Roydell. It's so funny because when he first came to Florida State and we saw him like in early action, I was so excited about him. Now he's just a guy, just a body on the team. That's what he is. That's the end of the quarter, guys. 0-0. An exciting first quarter Florida State Virginia Tech game. Man, I feel so pumped. I feel so pumped. It's been so low action that I barely touched it, guys. What are you guys drinking tonight? I know a couple of you are drinking. Someone said vitamin water. Someone said tea. Any other adult beverages in the room? Ireland, I know that you've got a real drink. Andy, I know you got a real drink. Oh, someone asked me on the show, what do I got up here? So, even though you're supposed to turn them in, I refused because I moved to Georgia. Florida State license plate. Still, brag with the tag. Garnet Old, guys. The little thing you get in the mail when you're a booster, the little like front plate cover. I don't know where my dad got this. So in 1992, he got this Westcott. It's like a little wooden. It's a piece of wood, and it's a little pot like stand up thing. And I don't know. I'm assuming he got it from Bill's bookstore or something. But that's from 1992. The football that you see there, covered in autographs. So very interesting story. It's not going to be signed by a whole bunch of legends. So that ball was signed during the 2007 season, but there is a story behind it. So I was dating a girl at the time, and one of her friends was dating Rod Owens, wide receiver at Florida State. And so for my birthday, the girl I was dating at the time had her girlfriend give that a ball to her boyfriend Rod Owens, and Rod Owens took it around to the entire team and had everyone sign it. So that football has every single player from the 2007 Florida State football team, which was not loaded. That team was not very loaded. So if you've ever wanted a football with Drew Weatherford and Christian Ponder on it at the same time, I got it. And Rod Owens. Greg Reed, though. Greg Reed's on that football. But yeah, that was very nice to have. I was excited when I got it. Then you come to this side up here. It's hard to see because the light's kind of blowing it out, but there's some more Florida State artwork in the back. Then you have a Florida State Mr. Potato Head. Again, I don't know where my dad got it. It's very old. With some wall art. And then way back there, it's hard to see because there's no lights back there. I have the 1993 championship Coke bottles and the 99 championship Coke bottles. The 2013s are somewhere. I don't know where they are right now. They might be at my dad's house. I don't know where they are. And then that's a TV over there. See, it looks like I have lights up there, but that's just reflecting off the TV. So I got a lot of stuff in front of me. Guys, my computer monitor. Listen, I'm a snob when it comes to electronics. So for my computer monitor, and if you're a gamer, you'll appreciate the specs. 55-inch, 144 hertz, 4K, OLED, beautiful TV that I use for my computer monitor. One where the stand is one of the center stands instead of the end feet. Really nice computer monitor and TV for games, which is what I'm doing here. Right now I'm using it in computer mode though. I got my game right on one side and I got you guys on the other. All right, back to the action. Pop quiz. What was Rod Owen's nickname while at Florida State? If any of you guys remember, it'll prove if. Oh man, terrible play. It'll prove your age though if you answer that correct. You will know that you're not on the younger side of the Garnet and Old. If you know what Rod Owen's nickname was in the 2007, he came there in 05 to 07. I don't think he was on the roster in 08. That's my Affleck trivia question for you guys. Ole Miss 17-14 over Florida right now. That's a very interesting game for so many reasons. I'm sure there are a lot of feelings in that game right now. Oh my God, Singleton, you have to catch that ball, guys. This is what losing teams do. I mean, you can't. That was Danzy. Okay, you can't put the ball more centered in someone's belly than that throw. Just drop it. Third down, everyone. Let's see what we got. Rolling out, rolling out, rolling out, throwing sidearm. First down. McCoy with the first down catch. First down. They're rolling out Castellanos a lot tonight. Traditional passing game wise. They have not done that as much as this game. They've been doing it a lot, and it's probably because they're trying to keep him from getting hit. We're trying to get a touchdown here. I bet that we wouldn't see a touchdown in this game until the third quarter. So let's see if we can break that and get one here. Because I'm not going to lie, 14 points might get it done in this game. If you're Florida State and you score 14, Virginia Tech, all they do is run the ball. They're going to burn the clock. Castellanos, first down. First down. All right, what do you guys do here? I'm going to go a little shovel pass, inside shovel pass. Oh, hitting the backfield. That's a loss of one. Loss of one on the play. Chroma knows how to take the hit. I'll have to give him that. 1-5. It just makes me so sad to see that ACC record in parentheses. 1-5. That hurts. Let's see, guys. Come on. Deuce. Great pass defense there. It was a good throw. Deuce went up for it, but you'll see on the replay here, the defender got the hand right on the ball and pushed it out. Really good pass defense here. Oh, no, he didn't get a hand in there. It's just Deuce Robinson dropped it. Yeah. All right, third down. Are we going to get a touchdown here? Going to Deuce again. Touchdown, Deuce. They basically did the same play. God, Deuce is... Again, I'll say it one more time, guys. To CJ's point, Deuce Robinson on this roster, on a lot of other years of Florida State's history, man, he's a special player, and what a waste to have him on this roster. Nope, that's incomplete, guys. I think that's going to be incomplete. The ball moved after the foot. That's an incomplete pass. They're going to review that, guys. That's an incomplete pass. He didn't catch. That's not a touchdown. And I'm not trying to call back Florida State touchdowns here, but that's not a touchdown. Clearly, it goes up out of his hands after the foot's down, and he didn't regather it until he went out of bounds. That's not a touchdown. Clear as day. It's not. I don't think that's a touchdown, guys. Let's see, really slow motion. Foot's down, foot's down, foot's down, foot's down. No, that's not a touchdown. I don't think that's going to be a turnover. That's going to be a reverse. Told you. Clear as day. CJ, I'm sorry, man. I have to disagree with you here, my man. That's not a catch at all. Like, not even close. That's not even a close call. That's why they didn't review it for long. The second they showed the first replay, I said that's not a catch. And I'm a Florida State fan. He never had control of the ball until he was out of bounds. All right, let's see if we can get a field goal here. Are we going to keep being scoreless? Oh, it was close. I almost missed it. All right, we got 3 guys. Yay! Look at us. We got 3 points here. Yeah, definitely not a catch on the touchdown. Oh man, guys. What other games are you guys watching? Who's watching the Ole Miss Florida game? Anyone that's got a little split screen action going? I'm trying to focus on our game, but man. So welcome to the show, Casey. I appreciate you joining. Even as a Miami fan, we welcome fans from all shows. So I love having other fan bases join a Florida State show. It's really nice of you. And we're not going to keep Mike forever. And I wouldn't say life as a Miami fan sure is sweet these days. How many games have you guys lost already? And this was supposed to be you guys were the best team in the country a couple weeks ago. I wouldn't say that life is all good in the Miami Hurricanes world right now. Let's see you win an ACC title before life is good posts go on, okay? CJ, I know he's a troll. I don't mind trolls as long as someone's not doing anything against rules as far as like saying horrible things. I welcome other fans to join the show. They can join anytime they want. But if you are a Miami fan and you do join the show as a watcher and you say life is good as a Miami Hurricanes fan, I will say yes, life is good as long as you don't ever want to win an ACC title. Sure, life's awesome. Someone in the chat who's a Florida State fan, just to help out our friend Casey, can someone remind Casey, let's go since the Hurricanes joined the conference. So let's go since the year Hurricanes joined the conference. How many ACC championships and national titles has Florida State won, and how many ACC championships and national titles has Miami won? Can someone do me a favor and put that data in the chat for our friend Casey? Just so I just want him to have I just want Casey to have a clear understanding here. All right. Oh yeah, thanks for the help, guys. 0 would be the number of ACC championships and national championships the Hurricanes have won since joining the conference 20 years ago. So, life is good as a Miami Hurricane fans, guys. Life is good. Conference titles mean nothing, but they actually do mean something these days. You have to win a conference title to ensure that you, as an ACC member, get in the playoffs, as we proved 2 years ago. Even if you win the conference title, sometimes that doesn't happen. But definitely you have to do it now, especially with the games that you've lost this year. So, yeah, conference titles, they actually do mean something. Generally, a conference title is a representation of how much you kick ass in your own conference or not. And so if conference titles don't matter, then winning doesn't matter. If winning doesn't matter, what are we even doing here? But I really hope you enjoy. I really hope, Casey, you enjoy popping in that VHS tape to watch your old national championship. I really do. Just make sure you rewind it afterwards so you can watch it again later on. I don't want you to have to rewind later. Must suck having that in non-HD. Oh, man. All right. Let's see if Vatek can counter and get another 3 points. Man, this is going to be I'm telling you guys, I knew this was going to be a slog. Slog of a game. What was the total? 56? I just don't get it, man. Good defense. Our defense has played pretty well tonight, guys, and they've honestly played pretty well the last couple weeks. Our offense just has had problems, but the defense hasn't looked terrible the last couple weeks. Definitely not elite, but not bad. All right, 3rd and 2. Come on, Knowles. Let's get off the field. First down. If it's not a first down, they're going to go for it. I think it's a first down. Yep, first down. Guys, I'm swearing, this is going to be 3-3 at halftime with a 50-something point total. I'm telling you, I think Vince said before the game, like 35, 20-something as his prediction for Florida State to win. We're not going to sniff the 30s tonight, guys. Not even close. And Virginia Tech's not either. I predicted 21-17 Virginia Tech on this game. A whole lot of running. Mm-mm-mm. You know what I do like, guys? So all of you know I recently relocated. I was in like Orlando area in Florida, and I recently moved to Vidalia area in Georgia, roundabouts. I love how nice and cool the nights are here all the time. Like literally for the last month, every morning when you wake up, like every morning for the last month, you go outside and it's like 48 degrees. There was that real bad cold snap for a little bit there, but every morning it's in the 40s. And in Florida, it's like you'll get 3 days of like that in late October and early November, but then it'll spike right back up where you're waking up and it's 60, in the mornings. I've really enjoyed in the morning going outside, doing the old walk, the walkabout in 48-degree weather. I love cool weather. Cool weather is ideal. I've told Kristen, my wife, before, uh, I would do very well in a place like Ireland or European countries in general. I like cloudy days. I prefer cloudy days over sunshine. I like wind and cool weather. A little bit of sleet, rain. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I like that. There is nothing worse. There is nothing worse weather-wise for me than when you walk outside in July and it's 94 and you're just sweating and sweating and sweating. It's the worst. All right, 2nd and 8. That'll get a first down. Yep, he's got a ton of. Oh my God, terrible angle, guys, on defense. Terrible angle. That was probably the worst angle I've ever seen on an open pass like that. The corner got completely turned around. What a terrible angle on that pursuit. Touchdown. Oh, CJ, really good point here. So, by the way, I still call it NCAA football too. He's talking EA Sports College Football, but NCAA, that's the right name for it. I'm on year 11 for EA Sports College Football 26 Dynasty. I've only won 6 national titles. Only. What gets you these days is because I'm not playing on the easy difficulty, right? So randomly you'll have a game out of nowhere that's really hard. But in the old NCAA games, you just in 2014, the last time they had one, you just make it to the title game, and all you have to do is win one game. It's like conference game and then a 1-game national title. But now with the playoffs, I'll be undefeated in the season, cruising through the season, no problem. And then just a random bad performance in the second round of the playoffs, and then I'm out. But I kind of like it. Can I be honest with you? Back on NCAA football 14 days and before that, I would win the national title every year because you only really had to win that one big game, right? So that was easy, and it kind of got boring because you're like, I like winning, never gets old winning, but even on the hardest difficulty, you would be like, okay, I would like it to be kind of realistic. So I kind of like it. In fact, some of my most enjoyable years, and you kind of do the storyline in your head, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm such a nerd. You'll lose, let's say you would lose in the second round of the playoffs on the video game, and do you do in your head as if you were given the post game press conference or in your head on talking about the next year and how changes you're going to make? I do that stuff all the time. It makes it fun. It's makes it more of a simulation game. But I've had more fun on the years I've lost in the playoffs and then had to start over, whether it be in the recruiting or in the portal to address whatever I thought caused me that one loss. And then the next year I win it, win everything. It's much more fun that way than just winning every year. So yes, I love EA Sports College Football. I'm a big college football fan. Andy from Ireland writes, it's funny because I'd prefer to live in Florida, although I've never experienced it in the hottest months. Sir, you only say that because you've never experienced it during the hottest months. I know it sounds amazing. You see the palm trees and the beaches, and man, look at all this sunshine. But then you get here, I'm telling you, June through August, and even most of September, my man, it's like you walk outside and ask any Floridian. You walk outside and all you're doing is like, I need to walk from my house to the car, and like I drop my keys and I pick them up. When you get in your car, you'll have a drop of sweat fall in your eye, and all you did was walk 10 yards and dropped your keys maybe or something like that and picked them up. And you get in the car and some spots under your shirt are damp from the sweat. You don't want that, man. You don't know what it's like to live way down here. We do things a little bit differently down here in the South, in the swamp. We do things a little different. Oh, CJ, you go hard, man. I like this. So you use AI like a chatbot to like do a post game press conferences and like what Cameron would say about uh, you know, the loss. How could you guys lose in such a big moment? I like that. See, I do that same thing, but I just do it in my head. Like I'll be literally getting ready for work, and maybe I try to play a game before I went to work, and I'll be like, Cameron would probably be like, "This sorry ass, they couldn't run the ball to save their life in that game, right?" Yeah, but you do it a whole another level. You use AI. That's awesome. Mellow Mama Bear. In the summer, I say our state models come to Florida, live like bacon. Yes, absolutely. Mellow Mama Bear. I must know the dog and your avatar here. Adorable. First of all, what is the dog's name? And is it wearing a Florida State jersey? Which I think it is. Tell me what your dog's name is. I'm a big animal guy. I love animals. Cats, chickens, dogs. I got it all. So I love animals. The more animals, the better. Yes, Seminole fans. The basketball team, I think, is going to be good this year. Yeah, a lot of fun to watch. I think it's going to be a fun year. Thanks, Mellow Mom Bear. That's Sully, and yes, he's wearing an FSU jersey. What? Let's see. What breed is that? I'm gonna say, is it a lab mix with something? Um, I love the droopies though, like the cheek droopies. I'm a big fan of that on a dog. I don't like it so crazy where they just like the ones that like the mastiffs where the drool just hangs off all the time. But I like the little droopies. Oh no! See, now I'm talking about your dog, and he passed away. So this past year, yeah, for me, I lost. I had a Great Dane mix. Her name was Gypsy, and we lost her last year. And then we lost our cat, Mia, 3 months ago. So it was a year of pet deaths, which is unfortunate. Let's see. CJ writes, "What kind of dog you got now?" So right now, keep in mind, CJ, I just came off having a Great Dane, right? And she was my everything. Like I love that dog. So we got a new dog. She's about a year old now. We got her when she was 3 months, and she is an Australian Shepherd Whippet mix. WHIPPIT or ET. So look it up on Google. Type in Australian Shepherd Whippet mix. Uh, she's got the whole black and white patterns. Uh, Tight snout. She can jump and run like crazy. She got that whippet speed and the body of a Australian Shepherd short hair. All right, ACC Network is stretching here. Did you? If you guys are listening to the audio broadcast, Holly Rowe just said, "I know it's humid in Florida during the summer, but it's humid down here right now. There's no way it's humid there right now. If it was humid, Vince would have told us. It's probably the same exact weather it is here. I'm not that far from Tallahassee. Holly, you're stretching. Okay, the field's in rough shape, probably because the field wasn't maintained well. It's not because of humidity. Oh man. I should upload a pic of both my Great Dane and my current dog, Arya. My current dog is named Arya after Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. So, if you're a Game of Thrones person, you'll appreciate the reference there. I should be able to get us a little picture here to show you guys both of them, though. Yes, but Gypsy, our Great Dane lab mix, she was a delight. Best dog, best dog you could ever dream of. Like, she was such a sweetheart. There wasn't a person that would come in the house that she wouldn't be best friends with instantly. Miss her every single day. Dogs do not live long enough. It truly is unfortunate, dog's lifespan. Touchdown, Florida State. In the meantime, Deuce Robinson finally got his touchdown tonight. He was wide open. Bad throw, though. All right. So while we celebrate Florida State's touchdown, let me show you first my Great Dane, Gypsy. So she passed away last year. An absolute lovely dog. And I miss her every single day. She was so nice and so sweet. So that was Gypsy. And then I have no idea where I put my other image. Let me get it again. This is Arya, my Australian Shepherd Whippet mix, and my cat Darla. You can see the pattern matching there. So also a very sweet dog, very different personality than Gypsy. Being that Australian Shepherd mix, a lot of energy, a lot of energy happening at all times. Yeah, those are my pets, and I have chickens. I got 5 chickens for eggs. Yes, CJ. Yeah, we thought it was funny when we got the dog that she matched our cat, and they're friends. Like, they lay together, as you saw in the bed and everything. So we always train our dogs not to, be aggressive towards cats. So our dog kind of likes all animals except horses. Anytime she sees a horse, she goes apeshit. She thinks they're like a demon or something. If our dog sees a horse, she will lose it. Like, aggressive barking, hair raised on the back of her fur. She's deer, cows, chickens, no problem. Horses, the devil. Don't know why. Fun fact. All right, Florida State, let's see if we get a stop. Maybe go in with a lead at half. They're in the 2-minute drill here, so you know that they're gonna try to burn every second of this 2.5 minutes and slow roll this thing all the way down. Try to get a field goal out of it. Terrible pitch. Defense played well tonight. CJ, don't be worried that Mike's going to be back next year. I don't think that's going to happen. All right. Let's see some other scores. Florida is up on Ole Miss right now, 21-20. Utah is up on Baylor, 28-10. Ohio State is blanking UCLA right now, 17-0. Georgia up 14-3 on Texas. And then, I already talked about the South Carolina game earlier. Texas A&M came back to win that game. Oklahoma stuns Alabama at Alabama. A lot of good games today. So very interesting day. If we look at the ACC standings right now, if the championship was today, the top 4 teams in the ACC: Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, and SMU. Miami, as you can tell, not on the list. So they still have a long way to go. See if they can make it to the conference title. And then way down, we're not last. That's for Boston College, just sitting in the mud at 0-7. That'll hurt your feelings in the conference. And Syracuse 1-6. So if we lose tonight, we'll be tied with Syracuse for second to last in the conference. Fun things. All right. If you guys could handpick your next head coach, who would it be? Put it in chat. And by the way, guys, I'm going to go through halftime. And then probably watch the second half offline. Mainly, can I be honest? I'm just going to be fully transparent. If Florida State was a legitimate team this year, let's say we were in contention, maybe a game out of the ACC title hunt right now, and we need this win, you can pay me $1 million to go to bed. But sometime in the fourth quarter, when I'm on the couch and I start to do the old man nod off in the recliner, I want to have the choice and the ability to say, should I just go to bed? Depending on the score. So we'll call the live stream a success after halftime here. First down. Oh my God. How did they get that? Unbelievable that he picked that up. CJ, I quite like what you did here with the Jimbo reference with the fish. I quite like that. That's funny. All right, let's see if Virginia Tech can drive the field in 1:50. Moving the ball, that's for sure. Whole lot of if you look on the defensive line, a whole lot of deep breaths going on. A whole lot of tired players. All right, 2nd and 3. Oh my God, what a weird play. Almost caught somehow. Unbelievable. All right, 3rd and 3. What do you got, Virginia Tech? What do you got? Thank you, CJ, for the super chat, the $5 super chat. First down, Virginia Tech. Let's show some love for Ironclad for the show tonight. I appreciate you guys. I do this because I love you guys. The only thing I don't like about doing this has nothing to do with doing the show, is that, I work from home Monday through Friday. And so I spend hours and hours in this very room, in this very chair. And for those of you who work at home, you'll kind of know the feeling. During the weekend, as nice as my setup is here, like in this chair and on this computer, you want to see anything but the place that you've been sitting all week at working from home. Like you want to go any other room. So that's the only thing I don't like when I do like longer shows from the office on the weekend, is it feels like I'm sitting in my work chair. I'm just doing the work stuff. So, but I do it because I like streaming. When we started this thing 5 years ago, I never thought anyone would listen to us ever. It's just two guys having a chat, and look at us now. We got a great following with great human beings that love to love the Knowles and want to see this program return to greatness. And I'm just here to provide entertainment when I can. So I appreciate you, CJ, for the super chat. Always appreciate the love from the fans. All right, 1st and 20. Timeout, Virginia Tech. Mellow Mama Bear writes, I like the OC from Oregon. He is young, aggressive with his offense. He could revive the program, but I don't think they would go that route. I think they would try to find someone proven. So I don't know about that. So the issue with the proven route, 10 years ago was easy. Think about 10 years ago. And you said, who would be the top 10 coaches you would try to go get on the open market? Like, think about when Jimbo left the list, like who we had in our mind. There was laundry list of guys. As the game has changed and it's become more about the NIL and paying players, a lot of those coaches didn't like that environment, got out of the sport, and even the coaches that you would say are proven, like you would list James Franklin as proven, you would list Dabo Sweeney as proven. They are. They've done a lot at those programs. They didn't. Dabo, is in trouble. Franklin was fired. Kiffin's the only one that's like, okay, like I guess a sexy choice, but he's probably going to Florida. So I don't think there's a whole lot of like those guys anymore. I think the Oregon coordinator choice would be a candidate. I think that would be a good candidate. So let's not poo-poo like a potential dark horse type candidate where like maybe you can the upside candidate. I think Florida State is likely to actually go that way. I think Florida State is more than likely to get a up and comer who is a really good coordinator somewhere, and will come here and prove it, or they will go get someone like Franklin who expresses interest in the role. But I don't think we're gonna like go down a fantasy list of coaches. I don't think we're doing that, and we don't want to pay that kind of money. So I agree with you, CJ, and Jimbo checks every box. The only box he doesn't check, and I have to give Vince, my co-host, credit on this one. The only box he doesn't check is how many people who are the money people at Florida State, the same people who are the money people when Jimbo left, are still the money people who donate all the money right now. How badly did he piss them off, and how personal was it behind the scenes? We don't know the answer to that. Of course he pissed people off when he left, but I'm saying like you can piss someone off and then a couple years go by and you're like water under the bridge. Like you can kind of think of that person. Like you can remember the good. It's really easy to remember the good times with someone after a few years has passed, even if it didn't end well. But did he have choice words with any of them? Did he really piss them off? That part we don't know. And if the answer is like, yeah, it's a non-starter. He told someone to go to hell and he never wants to see him again. then yeah, he might have he might have zero ability to do it. So who knows where their mind's at from an administrative standpoint. They're going to give him a second back here, and they're going to kick a field goal. Yeah, they're going to give him a second here. I think they're going to kick a field goal. No surprise. Come on, ACC crew, figure this thing out. Taking a lot of time for what I think is a pretty simple call. He went out of bounds clearly with the second left, and they had a timeout. And I'm assuming they called it. ACC refs. Never a dull moment for the ACC referee. Yep. Good call. 30-second timeout. Now, the interesting thing, are they going to kick it or are they going to do a Hail Mary here? I can tell you this, the weather probably mirrors here. It's a still night. There's not a lot of wind. So if you're going to kick a long kick, this would be the night to do it. Yeah, they're going to Hail Mary this thing. All right, guys, that's halftime. 10-7, Florida State. Exactly the feel of the game I thought it would be. Low-scoring game. Anyone's game still. Florida State gets the ball after the half. So, yeah, pretty low-scoring game. But, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure doing this live stream with all of you. We do a live show every single Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Vince and I do a Florida State show every Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, called the Garnet Old Show. So if you're not familiar, please join us every Thursday night. And then we also do game coverage on game weekends and everything like that. This game day was brought to you by the Palace Saloon in Tallahassee, Florida, and our office and decor is brought to you by Captain Black's Fishing Studios, Captain Black's Fishing in Panama City Beach. Captain Black does amazing fishing charters. So if you're in the Panama City Beach area, please give Captain John Black a call for all your charter fishing needs. But guys, it's been awesome. I will see you on Thursday. I appreciate each and every one of you. And last but not least, go Noles. See you guys.